Good morning, dear students. Let's start here, chapter 15, pollution and its type and sources. And all of you know about the pollution, the most important nowadays, the problem which are being faced by the humans, and that is the pollution. And even nowadays, if you find even usually just 20 or 30 years back, this problem of pollution was only been faced by the urban places, means the cities. But now, at present, you will find this pollution problem even can be seen in the rural areas and even in the remote areas also are facing the pollution problem. Now here let's see about in this chapter, there are three chapters, chapter 15, chapter 16 and chapter 17 we are going to study about the pollution. In this chapter we are going to see about the types and the sources. Then the next chapter I will explain you about the effects of pollution. And the third chapter of this section we will study about the preventive measures. So let's start here. The first topic of pollution, that is the types and its sources. So first of all, the first question arises is, what is pollution? Now if you find here in your book, all of you open your book also, as I will teach you, and you will find here this pollution is being defined here as any activity that violates the original character of nature and leads to its degradation is called pollution. In a simple language we can say that the degradation of the nature or environment is called pollution. Now, another important thing which is pollutant. So, how this pollution is caused? The substance which causes pollution is known as pollutant. So, this is the second one. First one is pollution, in which we can explain that any activity that violates the original character of nature and leads to the degradation of the nature or environment is known as pollution. Now how this pollution is caused? So let's see here. Next important term is pollutant. So there are so many substances which degrades the environment, or you can say the nature, and these substances are called pollutant. Example, if you see, we can take the example of the very common example of carbon dioxide. Now carbon dioxide, usually in the atmosphere carbon dioxide is present, and usually the amount of carbon dioxide in atmosphere is 0.03%. and that's very small amount. But as you can find, this carbon dioxide is being released by the different sources. Now we can put all these sources in different sectors, and you will see the most important sectors are, the first one we can say is the automobile sector, and second important sector is the industrial sector, means all the factories and the industries. So these are the two most important sector. What are they? The first one is the automobile sector, and second one is the second most important sector is the industrial sector. Now these are the two sectors you will find most of the factories and the industries, and from the different sources of automobile, means all the vehicles. Now usually they release a large amount of carbon dioxide and also carbon monoxide. And this is why the carbon dioxide and the carbon monoxide, it is one of the most important substance which cause pollution in the atmosphere. So this carbon dioxide is what? It is a pollutant. So in this way, we can say that the substance which causes pollution is called pollutant. So I explained you about the two terms. The first one we have seen about the pollution, and second is the pollutant. Now let's move here and let's see here the different types and the sources of pollution. So the first most important type is the air pollution. Then the second type is the water pollution. The third one is the soil pollution. The fourth one is the radiation pollution. And the fifth type is the noise pollution. So you have seen here that the pollution is not only the gases or the harmful gases which has been released by the automobile sector and the industrial sector. So that is air pollution because it pollutes the air. But here the second one is the water pollution. So first of all, second one is the water pollution. Now you will find water, usually all of you know that only 1% water is a fresh water which is found in a source, means like underground water, or in the lakes and the rivers, because 97% of the water usually is found in ocean and the sea, and all of you know that water is saline water. And out of 3% water, there is a 2% water usually is found as an ice cap on the both poles, North Pole and South Pole, and over the high mountains in the form of glaciers. Now these glaciers are very thick, so they just constitute the 2% of that fresh water. So only 1% approx, so I am just telling the approximately. So it is a 1% water usually is found in all the lakes and the rivers, and also in the form of the underground water. So this is the only fresh water which is available. Now usually all the living beings on the earth, we all need the fresh water. But if you see, even this 1% water of this fresh water is also been polluted. Now as you can find, the rivers are the most important sources which provides the fresh water. But what happened? All this river water is been polluted, because you will find all the important cities, they all have developed around the rivers. Now most important example we can take from the North India, river Ganga, and it has so many tributaries, and you will find almost all the major cities which are situated in the North India, and you will find all the major big cities, they are all situated near the bank of any river. Even if you can take the example of our city Gorakhpur, or maybe Lucknow, so it's situated around the bank of Gomti. Our city Gorakhpur situated on the bank of Rapti. Now there is a Kanpur situated along the bank of Ganga. Then there is Allahabad, and you can take Patna. So large number of cities you will find, all the big and major cities, they all have developed where? Along on the bank of the rivers. Now why? I mean, these are the variation cities, old cities. and they have all developed. Why? Because the people, as they started, the population as starts increasing in these cities, and what happened, these areas developed into a city. Well, the thing is, in all these big cities, usually you will find so many industrial activities is being carried. Now from all these factories you will find the large number of the water, the waste water is released continuously in the river. And moreover you will find, especially in all the cities, you will find all the sewage, all the waste water of the whole city usually is being drained in these rivers. And this is how the river water actually is polluted. And even if you find the example of the big lakes, which these lakes usually are known as the inland drainage. Now example we will take in our city, there is a Ramgarh is a very big lake. Now it forms, or you can say, we also call it inland drainage. Inland drainage means when the small rivers or maybe the surrounding water of the cities is been drained in some lakes, now because it is bounded from the land, and that's why these type of things or features are called inland drainage. Now here you will find even the example of Gorakhpur, the large amount of the drainage, the sewage water is drained in Ramgarh. So even the Ramgarh don't have the fresh water. So I'm just giving you one introduction first of all in this class, in this video, and next period, means next session, I will explain you one by one, you will see all the topic. So here we have seen here that how the water, even the 1% water that is usually is available as a fresh water, even it is polluted. And this is the major thing, and that's why you can find nowadays in every house we are using the water purifier to purify the water. And because this polluted water, it can cause so many diseases. Now next is, you can say the next thing is the soil pollution. So even the soil even is not left anywhere very pure. Even if you go to the rural areas, now usually all of you, we know that the large number of garbage, large amount of garbage is being thrown wherever, so the soil is polluted. But the thing is, if we say that the soil in the villages are pure, but let me explain you that nowadays, because you will find all the farmers actually, mostly all the farmers, 99.9% farmers all over the world, now what they are using? They are using the chemical fertilizer, then they are using a large amount of pesticide and insecticide. Now all these things are actually toxic and chemicals, and what happens, it accumulates in the soil. So usually we can't see the soil polluted, but thing is, this soil contains different types of chemicals and the toxic elements, and these things creates the pollution. So in this way, even the soil in the rural areas, in the agricultural land, is not actually left pure. They all are polluted. So we have seen even that that is the soil pollution. Now we will see afterwards in detail. I will explain you. Now next is the radiation pollution. Now usually when you study about the radiation pollution, and you may have studied about the Chernobyl disaster, in which you have studied in class 7th or class 8th. Class 8th you have studied about the Chernobyl disaster, in which you have studied that how, because of the leakage of the waste water from the Chernobyl plant, and that pollutes the water, the river was polluted, and from there this pollution, that radiation pollution, it has caused a large this problem, right, and that affected a large number of people here. So this is the one common radiation pollution, you know about it. But nowadays the radiation problem is so common that even in every colony, in every area, not only in the urban places, even in the rural areas, radiation pollution can be seen. Now in what form? Now nowadays every person use so different numbers of gadgets, and the most important gadgets we use is the mobile phone. And these mobile phones actually are the major cause of radiation. And the scientists actually, they have discovered, they have researched and they have found that how these radiation actually, it affects the immune system of the human beings. So it not only affects the immune system, it affects the retina, means our eyes, brains, heart. Well, so this radiation that has been caused by only the mobile phones, now you can see that's so common here. So this is how this radiation pollution is also a very common thing. So we will see afterwards in a detail as I will explain you. Now next move to the last one is the noise pollution. Now usually in the book you will study noise pollution is caused by the, especially in the, you find everywhere the noise pollution is very common. And usually we don't actually find this noise pollution as any problem. But if you find, the scientists, they have researched and they have found, and the doctors even they tell that most of the diseases are caused by this noise pollution. The most important factor that is behind all the major disease, especially like the blood pressure, then there is the stress, mental stress, there is a fatigue, physical fatigue, right? Now these things actually can be seen very common in our families, and these all things actually, the most important thing which cause all these things is the noise pollution. Now you will find around our house, as the marriages, so many marriage functions, and especially also during the festival seasons, and if our houses, some houses are situated along the roads, right, nearby roads, so the traffic causes large amount of so much noise pollution, and these continuous noise pollution, it actually affects our physical health, the mental health of the people. And this is why noise pollution also is a very important major cause. So all these 5 pollutions, what we have seen here, the air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, radiation pollution and the noise pollution, these are all the major pollutions can be seen around us, in our cities, even in the rural areas, all over the world. And this is why we need to first of all we need to know about the pollution and how we have to control it, and how together actually we can contribute in controlling this pollution. Now this is why actually you are studying this portion in geography, these 3 chapters actually. This is the portion of environmental studies, environmental education. But environmental education, it has become so important syllabus, it has been added in all the subjects, some subjects, especially in the humanities and the science subjects. You are studying about this environmental education. Now what is the motive behind it? To create awareness at the grassroots level. What is the grassroots level? The children. So in every schools, as this education is imparted, so the students, means the children, they will be aware, and this is the important thing, to create awareness. Now if you take example, the major problem which has been faced by our country and also China, these are the 2 countries we can take as an example, and both countries, the most important, the major problem which has been faced by these 2 countries, China and India, is the growing population. Now here both the countries, they have actually used the different methods to control the pollution, to control the population. Now in China, what they have done, because it is a communist country, now that's why they have just made it very compulsory that every family, they will going to have only 1 child. Otherwise the second children, the other children, they need to abort. So the thing is, here in China, usually a different method is applied, right, because it is a communist country. But in our country, the method which was applied, it was to create an awareness. The government has spent a lot of money in just giving ad and the slogans, right, and creating awareness among the population. And as the people, as you can know, previously there was one slogan, Hum Do Hamare Do, that is just a slogan given to just create an awareness. But nowadays this slogan has been changed. Now it has become Hum Do Hamare One. Okay, so only one children, one child. The thing is, the people who are educated, now those who know about the small family, now so you can find these things in our house, around us. Now the families now is becoming smaller. And this is how in India, the government of India is controlling the population. Now thing is actually why I am telling you this, I am just giving you as an example. The same way here to create the awareness is a very important thing, and that's why you are studying all these things. Because these are the major problems, and that can affect not only us but the whole humanity in our country, right? And it is a factor which is affecting the economic growth of our country, and this is why you are studying this about the pollution, right? So okay, next video, all of you just read it, and next video we will start the detailed explanation. I will start of each and every topic. So all the best, all of you read this topic, the whole chapter.